Welcome to the Clallam Corner. I have a good friend of the agency, Miss Penny Nurse, with us. And Mrs. Penny Nurse, thank you. See, this is why we're good friends, because you will correct me whenever you can. And Penny was actually the first true volunteer. Everyone else, I have knocked on their door, and Penny came knocking saying, I have a subject that has impacted a huge percentage of Americans in some way, shape, or form to talk about. So Penny, the floor is yours. Tell us what's going on in your world.
Well, it's been pretty crazy. Just like travel business has been affected, just like everyone else's business. That just trying to make things run as smoothly as possible, and try to keep clients calm and keep them informed, which has been a real challenge because things are changing daily. And depending on whether it's airlines, the cruise lines, the hotels, can you travel here? Can you not travel here? When are we going to be able to travel again? What do you need? And it changes all the time. So, try to stay up on top of everything, which is, like I said, a challenge in itself.
Yeah, no kidding. So a little bit of background about you, though. You are a what's your title? Registered travel agent, travel advisor. What is your job?
Just a very short little background. I worked in the high-tech fields in IT for years and years and years. So that's basically my professional background. Got into the travel business about 17 years ago, just out of frustration, and said, I've had it with the high-tech field. I'm out of here. Moved to Washington 5 years ago. Had a business in California, and so AllWaysTravel is my own business. It's home-based business, and so if I had to classify my business, it'd be more of like a boutique business. So I'm very hands-on, put together all sorts of pieces. Like a client wants to go to Europe, and they want to plane, automobiles, ships, whatever, cruises, adventure, surfing, skiing trips. So I pretty much do it all, and I've got a good base that clients have been with me all over the country for the years that I've been in the industry. So I'm the owner of my own travel business, and I am a travel, it depends. Some travel advisors, travel consultant, travel agent, all of those things. Travel owner, yes, it falls in that category, yes.
So you've been working from home forever then. So this is nothing new to you. It's like I was looking over my shoulder, and I've got an ironing board and some old shirts I'm going to actually iron to try to put on a collar later this week.
Yeah. I have been working from home. I started working for an agency down in California when I first got into the business, but I knew right away that's not what I wanted to do, and pretty much told them up front that within 5 years I'd be out on my own, and I wanted to take all the clients that I had. They would be mine, and they would be with me, and they've stayed with me. So it's been an interesting time in the travel business. And I have friends that are in the airline business that have been furloughed. They don't know when they're going back to work. Friends in the cruise business. I feel bad for some of the staff that's just out there bobbing along on the sea. Of course, the cruise lines have been very good about putting the crews up into, some of the balcony cabins and stuff where they're usually stuck down below. But and given them the option to go back home, which most of them are European or from the Philippines, or to stay on board the ship. So they're doing their best, but you've got a fleet of ships just bobbing around off the coast of Florida or coast of Miami out there, just waiting, in different parts of the world till things open back up again. So, it's been very challenging for everyone in all parts of the industry. So probably the biggest question I get asked all the time is when are we going to be able to travel again? And, and I'm honest, I don't know. I could tell you today, I've got clients that are booked for Italy that were supposed to go at the end of May. We rescheduled them until the end of August. I don't know for sure whether or not come August we're going to be able to travel. I've got people that, have been, were booked on cruises that got canceled. What I miss seeing up here? I can look out my window from above and see the ships. They go, oh, it's cruise season. The Alaska, all the cruise ships start going back to Alaska again out of Seattle. And so they come down through the strait, and I miss seeing them because then that's not happening. Not until.
Wait a minute. So you mean, I thought the whole reason we were doing this interview is you were going to have the answer when I could take my kids to Disneyland again. You don't have that?
Well, soon. They're working on it, especially since they opened up Florida. Yeah, the state opened up Florida, so they are now. California is a whole different thing. So you got Disney World, Disneyland, right? I don't know about Disneyland, but Disney World, they're putting together a plan and how they're going to reopen and keep it safe. I mean, I don't know how you do that with, it doesn't matter what time of year you go, either that or you make a reservation. They only allow so many people in. You make your reservation, you get your tickets, you made your reservation, you go in on that day. I mean, I don't know how else they would, I don't know.
So what else besides your existing clients and everyone being antsy to figure when can I get out and go do something again? What are you seeing? I know you said you prepared some notes like grand scale, the airlines, how are they handling it for people that have stuff booked? I mean, I know that there were some issues with travel insurance and pandemics not being, there's all sorts of stuff going on there. So what do you have to say for the consumers who are saying, wow, we've got a travel expert here and I have these main questions?
Yeah, well, travel insurance, first of all, a lot of people will say, oh, why use a travel agent? I'm just booking myself online. I don't need a travel agent. That's true. You don't. You also don't need a real estate. Well, maybe in Washington you do. California, you didn't. You don't need a real estate agent either. Put your house up for sale, make sure all the documents are in place, boom. You don't need an attorney either. You can fill out your paperwork and do things. But why do you go to these places? It's to seek, expert advice, right? And
you don't need an open heart surgeon. I mean, you've got knives and stuff at home too, right?
I can operate on myself. Yeah. I'll just get a YouTube video. Is going, okay, watch it and operate with the one hand. Yeah, and so, at this time, what we're going through right now is a great time, if anybody had anything booked, to have gone through a travel agent, because we can help you navigate through all of these issues where, refund versus future cruise credits versus future airline credits, what your rights are, what you can and can't do. And it's very interesting depending upon the airline, the cruise line, the hotel, what you're doing and how the refunds work. Same thing with travel insurance. You brought that up. That's a great thing. Unfortunately, people that took out travel insurance, a lot of this COVID, if you wanted to cancel because of you're just too afraid to travel, you're just too, your travel insurance is not going to cover that. So if you, got the virus and you couldn't travel, then of course, you'd be able to get that. The exception, or that you would be able to put in a claim and maybe get most of your money back. With the exception of being if you paid for cancel for any reason insurance. Do you guys sell travel insurance?
We do.
You do. I should know that. Do you use a particular company, or you?
Yeah, we do. So John, who does our Medicare, also, a lot of times that ties in with that group of people that are newly retired and get to go out and have some fun. So he works with those. I know very little about it. I just know when the question comes up, I know who to get him in contact with.
Good thing. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different and companies out there that offer travel insurance, and every one is a little bit different. So it's not one size fits all based on how much you pay. Some look at how long is it from the time you actually book a trip to the time you're going, how long, how old are you, how much the trip cost. So there's a lot of different factors in there, and depends on what they, what their policies are. So as an agent, I usually look at that, and I may not use the same company for travel insurance for one client over another.
Yeah.
But if you do purchase the cancel for any reason, which typically is a couple $100s more, then of course this would have been covered, because I woke up, I had a bad hair day. I don't want to go on this trip. Okay, fine. Here's your money back. Less, of course, the insurance that you paid. So travel insurance is a good idea. It's becoming more and more of an issue. Used to be, oh, well, my grandparent, was sick. I'm not going to be able to go. To be honest, the airlines don't care. The hotels don't care. The suppliers don't care. The cruise lines don't care. Here it is. Here's the 30 to 60 days or whatever. And if people are going to cancel, typically they'll cancel, at the last minute, right? Because something came up unexpected. And that's when you're in 100% penalty, unfortunately. So I think it's a good idea that anybody have. It's like protecting your investment. I mean, if you're going to go to Vegas and you're going to spend $1,000, well, maybe you don't want to spend, but if you're, this is a big, vacation for you and your family, you want to protect that investment. So I would say yes. Cruise lines, interesting. I just found out this morning, cruise lines were following the recommendation. I'm going to be careful about how I word this. They were following the recommendation of the CDC. It was if you were 70 years or older, you would have to obtain a letter. It was a form that they had on their site from your doctor saying that you didn't have these particular conditions like diabetes, kidney, heart, whatever, and that you were okay to go on a cruise. Well, of course, there was an uproar because, wait a minute, you're assuming that everyone that's 70 years and older is, not healthy and not, why are you just picking on that group, right? What about somebody that's 50 or has issues? So there was a lot of talk about that. There was a lot of uproar about that. And the fact that they didn't have any date, they said, well, I could go to my doctor in June. I'm not traveling to November. So I get it. I have to go to my doctor. I'll just get the letter. No date on it. Didn't matter. So it was kind of open-ended. Well, what purpose does that serve, right? So just this morning, I got notification that they are not requiring that anymore, interestingly enough. However, they may come up with something else in its place. So I don't know that, but I need to know that when I book clients that, we need to know everything, which is why I carry E&O insurance, right? Which any agent should. But, that's my job. And to try to stay on top of everything with things moving all the time, it's almost impossible, but I try to guide clients because, it's my reputation that's on the line. When I tell them something, I want to make sure that it's correct, right?
Absolutely.
And stand behind that. So, and also a lot of airlines, cruise lines, suppliers, they have, they've brought in a lot of people that they're trying to train on the fly to answer phones, just so to try and get away from the long hold times and things like that. And a lot of these people aren't necessarily equipped to answer in detail, or they're not trained well enough. And so they're giving out incorrect information. I've run into that more often than I want to. So I'm very careful about what I pass on to clients as far as cancellation and change fees and things. I'll have to say that the airlines, and I know some may disagree with this, but in my experience so far, the airlines have been very good about refunding clients and eliminating change fees, and either refunding or giving them advance, in their
credits, right?
Credits, yeah, for future travel, all the way out to 2022. So, and they're hurting too. Just because they're a big company, because they're huge, doesn't mean that they're not feeling this pain as well.
Yeah, travel's down, I think, over 50%, right? The actual people on planes is so down, and
international travel is down like 90% was the latest that I just read. So yeah, it's pretty serious. One thing you don't hear about, and I don't have a lot of clients that do train travel, so I haven't really kind of stayed up on that, only because I have so many other things to stamp on. But I don't know how this is impacting train travel, like Amtrak going across country or something. I haven't heard anything, not a peep.
You got to figure that it's basically affecting all modes of transportation in sweeping, whether it's cargo long haul trucking and people traveling for leisure, for work. I mean, I think that this will be something what we're doing now. I think I've seen some different business leaders that this is going to impact how business is done in perpetuity.
Exactly.
That people will no longer be traveling internationally for work unless it's a requirement. Like, I think we're learning to utilize technology and come to the grips that, at home work and people that can still be really productive and do everything and build relationships this way. You don't have to high five and actually break bread together. Sometimes just doing stuff like this, I think,
but it is kind of fun
over the long haul. Oh, it is. And it's what we miss and all that. But I mean, when you think about a company spending money to send someone international and spend for hotels and all that, I mean, there's a huge expense there. And they're going to start calculating, does it really move the needle that much that we need to be doing that anymore?
And they've already done that. I know there's a couple of companies down in Silicon Valley that I have clients that work, like at Adobe, for instance, at eBay, Yahoo. And they've already, probably back in March, they put a kibosh on no business travel at all. And if you had to travel or you went, one of the companies, I won't mention which one, but one of the companies even went as far as saying, because there was one of my clients that was on sabbatical, if you took a vacation or you're on sabbatical and you went any place, you had to quarantine at home 14 days before you even came back into work. So if you were in one of those positions where you had to actually go into, your office. But I see that being a huge, huge, huge difference. Don't need it, and let's just all hope that nothing ever happens to the internet, because
that would be problems.
I mean, you talk about totally shutting down a country.
So in summary, to keep this short, because I know you have things to do and I do as well, I've heard, as everyone I've talked to, the industry changes are happening rapidly, daily. Stay on top of it.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Cruise ships wanted to discriminate against 70-year-olds and now they can't. Airlines are being pretty good, but not exceptional, but they're doing more than you've seen in the past.
Yes.
And you say I'll be able by June 1st to go to Disneyland. Was that the fourth one that was right?
I don't think I said that, but I mean, really, you have to have some goals. You have to have something to look forward to. And the thing is, if I get to a point where I could book a trip to Disneyland for someone, or Disney World, whatever, for someone, then of course, I'll do that. If I have some concerns because I maybe have some other little pieces of information, then I'm going to maybe advise that, maybe you wait for, let's get this state opened first.
I'm not going to get to go see Goofy and Donald.
I'm right there with you. I'm just chomping at the bit to get on a plane. I said, I'll raise my hand and be the first one on.
I'm just chomping at the bit to be able to go camping this summer. I mean, I was looking forward to anything. Too. So, well, I really appreciate it. You're a wealth of knowledge in a field that I know very little about. High end, awesome, big luxury travel is not what I am in the demographic for yet, but maybe someday, as long as I work and save towards it, I will get that big trip to Europe, or I'll get that big trip to Australia.
I treat everyone the same. I don't care if you spend, $3,000 on a trip or you spend $30,000 on a trip. That should not be a determination as far as customer service. This, you're in the business as well. So, you treat everybody the same, and we'll get through this. We'll get through this.
Awesome. Well,
I put my swim strong shirt on, but I forgot. I didn't have time to change.
That's okay. We've seen the photo. We appreciate your support. I appreciate you jumping on, and hopefully things will get moving and grooving again, so you can start helping people, which is I know what you love doing.
Exactly. All right, James. Hey, thanks so much, and you have a good day.
All right, you too. Talk to you later.
For you and your family.
All right. See you, Penny.
All right. Bye-bye.